Speaking of Gone Forever, welcome everyone. We've been gone forever for quite a long time, but welcome everyone to the much anticipated, super pretty duper long overdue session 3 of our Chronicles of the Roaring Shores, our custom homebrew world that we're playing in and trying to get a taste for. And so far, we haven't played very much, but the taste has been pretty good, I think.
We've gotten a smell.
We've gotten a smell. We haven't actually entered the restaurant. We've just decided, oh, that place, that sounds delightful. So we're excited to go to that restaurant. But as joining me today are four amazing role players and my friends, whom I appreciate sticking with me as our constant cancellations. But we are back into running games more consistently. I'm proud to say I haven't canceled a single game since last Thursday. Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday, and then tomorrow I have another game. So it's going to be very exciting. And life is good. Also, quick shout out to Atomic and Blau. We completed Skull and Shackles. I'll be getting that video uploaded here soon. And in a month or so, we're going to be starting another Roaring Shores campaign that will be a bit of a more long form one after we get a little bit more taste into this setting. So let's have me shut up. Let's everyone go around the table, introduce themselves and their character, and then we'll do a quick little recap here from actually, no, we're going to skip the recap because if you're watching this, you should have watched the last episode. So there you go. We're just going to dive right into it. But let's go ahead. Atomic, Blau, Drubaka, and then of course Jesper Please the Fourth.
Hey everybody, I'm Atomic. I'm playing our shaman named Vidrun, our resident weirdo.
Howdy, everybody. I'm Blau. I'm playing Asmar Salehi, our fighter rogue.
Hello, I'm Drew. I'm playing Garfolo Brighthammer, the Dwarven Magus.
And I am Jasper. I am playing ASCII, our lovable cleric.
Jesper Please? Thank you.
She bought wind chimes in town, right?
Jesper Please.
I still need to buy those cloth separators for my pack.
That's beautiful. So we last left off our intrepid adventurers. We had done a bit of an arming up sequence. You had discovered that there was some sort of ley line that travels through the center of Kurth and seems to spread out. And it was believed, based on your research, that a kind of demonic sigil of some sort was being formed in and around the region, with Kurth being the kind of center to everything. You had done some research and also discovered that the most likely place for a ritual to be formed, or a ritual to be performed, excuse me, would be an old monastery that was some miles to the north, roughly 38 miles through dense forest, much of it not unexplored, but not often traveled. You know, most of these lands have been traveled, but since Godfall, for these last several hundred years, nature has reclaimed much of the regions that are, you know, more than a few miles outside of, you know, the small towns and where civilization still holds root. Go ahead, Blau.
So much like a video game RPG, it would not be uncommon to come across like an overgrown field with a stone farmhouse covered in vines and shit in the wilderness.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You know, you
All
come
right.
across old ruins and whatnot, a lot of them just mundane, but like you said, you might come across a, you know, dense patch of trees and then suddenly there's like a small clearing and you see old crumbled ruins, you know, from like you said, like a farmhouse or an old silo. Very common. You know, I wouldn't say very common, but not, you know, not something you'd be like, oh, this is weird. It's like, oh yeah, there's the past. You know,
Is there an estimate that anyone knows about like how much population was lost on the island? Like half, a third?
I believe I had made the decision. I don't think it's in the player's guide, but it was something like 90%. Like most.
Okay, is that then to now, or is that then to the end of Godfall
then
and then
to the end of
Godfall to now?
Godfall, and they've probably regained. You know, they're probably at a third.
Okay.
Maybe getting close to, you know, I don't know, 3/5. Not quite
Yeah.
3/5. Like a third. Like is back.
Okay.
You know, because but during the time, and much of that is lost to history and lost to, you know, the wars and whatnot, but most of the island was inhabited and there were sprawling cities and things like that. You know, even the mountain regions had cities and whatnot in them, which are now, you know, forgotten, quiet places that people don't travel to because they think they're cursed and haunted, which, you know, they probably are.
Spoiler, they are.
Yeah,
No.
probably are. Yeah. So that's a good question. I like that.
This is a town inhabited entirely by shadows. Enjoy being less than level 3 here.
Good luck with that.
I get along fine with them. I don't know what your problem is.
That's wonderful. So we're going to open our scene with the four of you preparing to depart. You are currently at the local office of the Gorm, and your leader, I suppose you could call him, of sorts, Zerphonos,
General
is-
manager.
General manager, yeah, is currently there, and he's sort of checking over the horses and looking at everything, and he's got his little mustache. He does a quick little twirl of it, as it were, and he says, "Well, I don't believe I have to tell you, but I'm going to anyway, that your venture out to the north here is perhaps one of the most important missions that this guild has ever faced. Your success or failure not only determines the longevity of the Gorm here in Kurduth, but also mostly the longevity, so please don't fail. It'd be great if you could succeed."
Before we go, sir,
Hmm.
does the guild have access to a set of lockpicks? I don't think I'd want to go out into town to try and buy them, given the town watch might have a bit of a
Let me check something.
reaction.
Q banging around, things falling, him cursing.
Throwing shit
Ow,
over his
damn it.
shoulders.
Ow, ow! Who stores things like that? Why is the big thing on top of the small thing? That's horrible. And then he comes back out with a set of Masterworks Thieves tools. And he will offer it to you.
I'll accept it. Thank you very much, sir.
Of course. As is the Gorm way, we look after our own so that they can look after the rest of the continent. At least I think that's how it goes. Anyway, anything else before I wish you all well and you depart upon your journey? Perfect. Well, be
Good
well.
luck, brave adventurers.
Yes. Yes, good luck. And, just good luck. He's gonna walk back in and...
I'll have potions when you guys get back.
No, you're going with them.
I'm what?
Wait, what?
What? No, what?
Cut to
I'm
her being placed on a horse. Beautiful. Absolutely.
We had to take a negative trait, and just to put it out there, ASCII's negative trait is that she's cowardly, and I want to work that in sometimes, but it's hard because I'm also sometimes the person in the party moving the story along.
Yeah, no, I really feel like the negative traits are kind of hard to work into a character when they're kind of shoehorned on.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And so this is my token attempt at pretending to be cowardly as somebody straps me to a horse and just says, "You're going."
No.
Just get
That
to put on the
is-
back of a Adrian's horse. It'll be fine. You will
Absolutely.
survive.
Beautiful, and I love it. Absolutely beautiful, and I love it. All right. So we are going to watch as the
Clink, clink,
four
clink,
of
clink,
you
clink.
make your way off and begin your journey north. Now, there are several trails that lead north out of Kurduth, and you can take one of them for roughly 5 miles before it kind of just ends in a field. One of the fields that we kind of mentioned earlier, Blau, where there may have been an old farmstead. You can see some old ruins. The first several hours of your journey are taken in early morning. The sun has started to rise, and there is a bit of overcast during this time of year, a little bit of a chill in the air, but otherwise it is relatively pleasant. You see a couple of animals moving about, some stags and whatnot, and the northern part of this of the forest seems not vibrant with life, but definitely more alive than it had sort of south of the city. If you recall, there had been kind of quietness, not a whole lot moving around. It almost seemed kind of dead. There's some life moving north. But someone give me a knowledge nature check if you have it. I want to see if you pick up on something perhaps strange about what's going on.
Survival apply as well, or no?
It would be specifically nature.
She rolled a 3.
We're saying you said nature. Do I have nature?
Yes.
I do not have nature.
I do have nature. We're level what, 2? That's not
17.
terrible.
Verdun, excuse me, Verdun. You
Vidrun.
notice that... That's what I said. We'll fix it in post. Vidrun. You
Take a drink.
notice that the songs of the birds,
Mhm.
some sparrows, some robins, some forest avians, as it were, they all seem agitated. So there are certain calls that will be made by these birds when they might detect danger. And to the untrained ear, this might just seem like standard bird chatter, but you're picking up, it's like, no, these birds are agitated. These birds are tweeting as though they see a predator, but as you look around, I mean, there's no fox, there's no owl around, there's no, I don't know, ravenous squirrel trying to eat them. It's just, there's an unease they might be picking up on, perhaps.
I imagine Vidrun and Asmar are probably riding side by side.
Mm.
As they've
A little girl clinking on the back.
Yeah, okay, just sitting backwards on the horse. Like
holding onto the tail.
Well, they're
Just
like back.
afraid.
They're like back to back, right? And she's using the horse's rump as a, I don't know. She's like reading a book or something, whatever. Anyway, but Vidrun will kind of just say without even looking at him, was like, Asma, the birds, the nature here seems distressed. Something is afoot.
He'd nod but wouldn't say anything, and he would switch. He has a saddle bow out. It's kind of, he has his hand on the reins with the saddle bow in his hands, his short bow, and he'll swap the point from a broadhead, hoping to get a good deer. Pull a second one. Put a bodkin on the bow.
This is a correct move.
I like it. As you're moving forward, you're getting near to where that trail is about to end, but it starts to kind of widen out. There's a small river, a little stream off to the right-hand side. I'm going to move you guys over to a different map here so you can see it. And I will ping you guys to where you are so you guys get a good view of the situation. Go ahead. You're moving north, so bottom to top. Go ahead and put yourselves in whatever marching order you'd like to be in. And then when you're ready, give me a perception check, please. See if you pick up on something in the area.
Unless anyone would be insisting on being in front, Asmar would probably ride in front. He wouldn't say anything, though. He'd just kind of take the lead. He has perception, and ride, and survival.
Should we be at the bottom of this map, or should we be at the top of it?
You should be right where you guys are at.
Right,
should be right here.
Wait a minute.
All right, that'll be like a...
Are we moving north or south?
Northward. Yep.
Moving.
Bottom to top. Yep, you got it.
I'll be a couple of steps ahead of...
I was trying to remember. I'm in another game that's used this map, and so I was just confused for a second. Wait a minute, I recognize
It's a great
this
map.
I do not want to be first.
No, Asmar would probably first. Virginia would probably be somewhat probably behind him, like I said.
Yeah, they'd probably have strung out a little bit once the once he gave that call. So I'm gonna give myself like 10 feet on you guys.
Yep.
And like I said, he has his bow out.
So I'll put us like here, and then Steve can be with me, and then So
I'll keep an eye out.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Have the two martial characters in front and back. That seems right.
Did we get a night's rest, by the way? Did he have time to heal a little bit?
Yes, you did.
Yes, we did.
Did you ever add your silver sickles? Was it?
I did silver.
Okay.
I have a cold iron and a silver kukri.
That's what it was. Yeah. Okay. Just making sure that you got those added. I added my
Thank you.
holy bombs as well.
Go ahead and roll that perception check for me, gentlemen.
Perception.
It's a good roll.
21, not bad. It's not bad.
Vidrun, you would notice, Azamar, you would notice a large brown-furred creature moving its way out from a sort of dense brush off to the right-hand side, just up ahead from where you guys are at, over on this side right here. All right.
Might it be an amazing mama bear?
It moves out, and you see a bear with red, crimson-colored teeth, as though it has just freshly killed something. But there's something more to this particular bear. It seems to have sort of small little spiny ridges coming out of it. And its eye is not that kind of standard black you might see on a bear.
Mm-hmm.
They're sort of this red tinted kind of color with these sort of swirling purple irises. All right? And it sniffs the air and it sees your group and it lets out a low, angry kind of growl. What do you guys do?
Low spawn can possess animals, remember, like the squirrel. There might be a low spawn in the bear.
Mar's gonna pull his horse off to the side just so that if it charges one of them, there's distance between who it charges and the next person in line,
Yeah.
and not get any closer to it to not provoke it.
I don't have anything I can use to.
But he does ready to shoot if it does begin to move.
Mhm.
Ready to shoot and then immediately throw the bow aside.
It rises up on its hind legs, doing that thing that bears do when they make themselves look large, and it just roar, roar, and then it slams down once, twice, banging its front paws and claws into the dirt. There's kind of a little bit of a cloud that starts to pile up, and it definitely looks like it's about to charge. I'm gonna have you guys roll initiative. We're gonna get into a little bit of combat here. You will get a surprise round.
Okay, is this stump here beside me? No, that's not good. Is this stump here beside me? Is it a tree or a stump?
Stump.
I assume it. Okay.
Stumps are stumps. Trees will have the green, and there
Yep,
is
trees.
area-
Stumps are stumps. Trees are trees. Come on.
You can tell it's an aspen by the way it is.
You can tell that it's an aspen because the way that it is. Ah,
The
that's
rocket
pretty
knows where it is by knowing where it isn't.
The missile knows where it is, but
Yeah.
knowing where it isn't.
neat. That's pretty neat.
It subtracts where it was from where it will be.
Oh wow, you got a 3. 4 feet to spare. All right, let's
Wow.
drop into.
Wow. Oh, that's
Oh,
right. I
wow.
forgot I have +9 to initiative. At
All
level
right,
2.
so surprise round because you guys saw it. and
I
you
might be able
prepared
to
for
scare it off.
Verdrin, what are you doing on your surprise round?
let's see. Let's see, what is Vigilin doing on a surprise round? Let's see.
You're gonna try and scare it off.
I can try. I've got a few.
Yeah, well, it's a surprise round, so I don't really. I mean, I guess I'll dismount from the horse.
What time of day is it?
It would be late morning at this point.
Unish.
Yeah, pop off the. So, what surprise is what? Move or standard? Standard.
Move or standard. That is correct, sir. You
Move
got it.
or
Yeah.
standard. So I'm going to move.
Your quick dismount check.
Oh yeah, what's that? To do a
It's
quick
DC
dismount?
15, but it's free if you get it, and there's no penalty for making it.
Is what acrobatics?
Oh, it's just ride.
Right check.
DC
Oh,
15
right.
plus ride, yeah.
Oh,
You get a free
okay.
dismount.
We'll see. We'll see. Make it
Hey, saved an
Make-
action.
shaved an action. So I'm going to move over Mia and then ich. Even I can't pronounce it. I made it intentionally stupid. Floating over his shoulder. She'll join him, and I leave ASCII on the horse, facing backwards.
Holding onto the tail.
What's going on back there?
Garf.
There appears to be a bear of
Polo.
some sort.
What's the movement on these horses?
Horses
They're
are 50.
not combat trained, but 50 feet.
I'm just gonna move up to. Hold on.
Give me a handle animal check.
Rude.
The horse is nervous.
You got closer
Giant
to a bear.
Yeah, it's a scary bear.
I didn't move that much closer to it.
Oh no.
Well, fortunately, my -1 to handle animal is going to be not that bad actually.
Probably good enough.
That's actually good enough. The horse is not quite panicked. It's thinking about it. It wants to, but
Okay.
it's thinking about it. That was your action for the surprise? Ask
No.
yes.
You don't
Move
get a full
action
turn on a
to
surprise
the-
round.
Urge the horse on.
Oh, then all I really wanted to do was get closer so I could set off a cantrip.
Which you'll be able to do on your next
All
round.
right, you suck.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, you get standard or
That's fair.
movement and a surprise. That's all you get. You don't get
Why do
both.
you hate me? ASCII, what'd you like to do?
Did you like those?
I'm going to down a potion of sea alignment
Ooh.
and sea alignment evil.
Mm. Yeah,
So
that
I
bear's
want to know
well
if this
away.
has an. Okay. Works for me. That's my turn.
Did you
That's
say
fine.
anything?
Yeah. It's an evil bear. I am almost certain it's possessed by one of the low spawn, or at least corrupted by one.
Okay, so that was my quick dismount check. To dismount, I'm going to go adjacent to the horse. And then I would like to 5 foot for free if that's presumably allowed. He wants to put the stump between it and the thing so it can't charge him due to difficult terrain. Assuming it doesn't have reach. It might have fucking reach. It might be fucked anyways. And he's going to try and thwip.
Love it.
Watch
I
me
don't have-
whip.
I don't have a macro for my bow.
That's a hit.
You just use your standard attack.
I never have my sheet up. Atomic?
It's
I
illegal.
don't play with my sheet up.
Wow. Okay.
And that's all I got.
It's half the reason I have an ultra wide, so I can have all my sheets up.
All right. Back to the top of the round with Verdrun. You're up first.
Okay, Vidrin is going to let's see. What's the thing to it's Q. That's what it is in this. Okay. Let's see. Should be able to move here and then should be in range of Zabea. I am going to use a new ability Vidrin has called Evil Eye.
Ooh.
So his one eye that is exposed through his mask is going to glow brightly, and then for a second it seems as if this isn't me. This is literally just what the class does. Like all the color in the area for a second seems to just drain and go black and white, and then like pops back in, almost like a shockwave. And I am going to see. I'm going to give it a. See, ability checks, AC, attack rolls, saving throws, or skill checks. I'm going to give it a -2 to its attack rolls.
Okay.
And so I need the bear to make me a will saving
17.
throw. 17. Okay, let's see what's my DC on that.
Probably not 17.
Probably not 17, but I'm going to check anyway. So it's still a round. I'm pretty sure it passes. It's still 1 round at minimum. And then that will be what I do.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Garfolo, you now get a full round. You can move and do a standard if you want.
Okay.
You don't have to be so sassy about it. Literally, he's eating. This is unwatchable and unplayable. Never gets old, man.
Never gets old.
Never gets old.
Okay. I guess I will move. Jesus.
You've just heard Vidrin chant something, and then like an eye debuff pops up above the bear. Like, wait a minute. It's fucking World of Warcraft or some shit.
That should be 15, and I'm going to cast Color Spray.
Ooh.
Good one.
Vivid cone of clashing colors springs forth from your hand, causing creatures to become stunned, blinded, or possibly knocking them
This
unconscious.
bear is dynamite.
2 HD or less, they're unconscious, blinded, and stunned. 3 or 4, they're blinded and stunned. 5 or more, they're stunned.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and assume your DC is lower than 22.
Will negates. Yeah.
I hate that. So a bright rainbow of colors shoots forth from your fingertips, and the bear says, "Mrrr."
You gotta love it.
I don't.
Or not.
I hate it.
No, I don't.
Pesky.
Welcome to level 2.
Hey.
So what's this about? Is this about dismounting horses? I'm not familiar.
So you can
So
just
if-
good.
Yeah, you can go ahead and make a ride check, and it's called a quick dismount. And even if you fail, it doesn't take you more actions. It just you.
So if I didn't pass, it would use some of my movement or something.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it would just use the normal move action it takes to dismount.
Yeah. So
Okay,
if you
so-
want to make it,
yeah.
yeah, it would just you could dismount, but you couldn't move. But if you make the successful
Okay,
check, you can
okay.
dismount and move.
So it's 15, and I just hit
Yep.
it. I'm good.
Yep.
Okay, dismount. Just slightly out of range for me. What's the? It's a -2 penalty for shooting above your range increment, right? Or is
Yeah,
it
for
more
each
than
increment
-2?
past.
Yeah, for each.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take the -2.
So I got home today. Yeah, Luna
Just gonna
was
ask.
apparently being rude to Chelsea. She
Yeah.
was
Only to
like-
Chelsea, huh?
She was being kind of bitchy, and then I got home and she was super happy and like ran into the kitchen. It was all purring, and she's like, she was mad that I got home first and I wasn't you. I was like, yeah, that happens.
If my cat's my big one, Dio. He's if it's just me in the house, he's totally fine. If there's anybody else in the house, he's a total fucking asshole to everyone. I just
Ooh, 11. Is that with
Doesn't-
the minuses?
No, that's not what the minus is. It's a 9.
Then unfortunately that will miss.
It's fine.
I hate to see it.
it's,
It's a good damage roll too.
Does it still do splash damage though?
It does.
Misses?
Minimum damage.
Yes, I guess.
It does.
We have to roll to see where it hits,
Yeah, roll
though.
me a D8.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember from
1d8, I think, just for
oh, I've already forgot his name. Was it the
1,
alchemist? in the
2, 3.
fucking
That,
thing?
I think that just completely whiffs. I don't think that hits
Yeah, it
anything.
whiffs, unfortunately. You're a kitty. You're just a little kitty, aren't you? Hello, little kitty. Alright, you're in my way.
Man, I had to stop wearing socks because of one of my cats.
Asmar.
Double moving,
Okay.
interpose himself between the back line and the bear,
I love
and
that.
he draws his falchion on the way.
Ooh, you're sassy. Charges the closest person and the horse. Have the horse give me a will save.
What's the horse's will?
I can look it up for you.
Yeah, look it up real quick if you don't mind. I want to say it's like 1 or 2.
That's
Well, that's not great.
just is just a normal horse,
Regular
One.
old horse.
just regular old horse.
Light horse is a 1.
Oh, yep. Alright, so the horse panics and begins to try and flee. It's going to start bucking, and I need you to give me either a ride check to stay mounted or an acrobatics check to fall gracefully. I promise I don't hate you. It's just the way the cookie.
I just hate horses. They're just awful.
He just hates animals. No, he might have a thing against horses because of all the cavaliers he likes to kill.
They had it coming. Oh,
They
that's
do.
good.
I agree with that assessment.
Okay, acrobatics it is.
Good enough. You will land right next to the horse. This thing will swipe at you, though. And you will take 11 damage
Oof.
as it swipes at you.
It's always Garflow.
attempts to grab you.
It's always Garflow, dude.
Fuck me. I'm assuming you're grappled.
Yeah,
That's rough.
I'm second level. Yeah, I've got a 25 AC at second level with a
It
magus.
rushes forward, grapples you, slashing into you, and just grabs you in its claws. And
Shaking it in its mouth. Just,
Shaking.
just shaking Garflow.
it's horrible. Verdun.
Let's see. Vidrin is going
You hate to see.
See,
You
I
hate
don't
to see it.
I don't have chant until next level, but I can, because the evil eye will drop off, but I can reapply it.
You cannot, because you can only use
Ev-
once per time.
evil eye you can. That's right, isn't evil eye?
I think it's I know it's one of them that you can do multiple
Yeah,
times. But I
Evil,
can't
evil
remember.
eye, no, evil eye you can do multiple times. It's
Really?
not one of. It's not. It's
God,
it's
you
like
learn
the
something
standard
new
one.
every day.
Yeah. It's got. It actually has an FAQ attached to it.
It has its own unique rule book. You had to buy it
Well,
separately
no,
for
it's-
$6.
It's the only.
Well,
It's
it
the
was
only
like
one.
I'm just
a little-
teasing,
it
I'm
was
just
like 100
teasing, yeah.
pages.
No.
Went into the lore and history of Evil Eye. It was a whole thing.
Oh, I can reapply it. I just have to use a different penalty, so I can't reapply the same penalty
Mostly
to it.
fluff.
So what did I give it to attack rolls?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it. I'm
The
gonna give
art
it a
was
minus-
amazing.
I'm gonna give it a -2 to its AC.
I like that.
So I can reapply it as long as I use a different debuff every
Oh,
time.
that makes sense. That actually makes sense.
So
This
that's
kitty
got
is
-2
purring
AC.
So loud. She's so happy.
As long as she doesn't get all bitey.
She's been pretty bitey lately, but I'm petting her and paying attention to her, so she's fine. All right, Garfolo, you are being mauled by a bear.
Oh god! Oh god!
It's just like Mom warned me.
Okay.
It's not that funny.
I
But I'm
should have
laughing.
believed that gypsy woman.
I shouldn't believe it. It'll all start with a squirrel. And then it's
It's
all
always-
downhill from there.
It started. Oh my god.
Oh,
It started with
sorry. The bear needs to make a will save.
I'm
See how many
I
rounds it
can't
lasts.
breathe. It's really funny.
it started with the very first like RP interaction. Like some woman was crying in the guild and like stepped on Garflow's foot or something. Like it's just
Yeah, he's
Garflow's just had it, dude. Like he's just been getting the runaround this whole
Yeah.
time.
okay. So
Such a good kitty.
let's see. With this,
Oh. That's great.
all right. Sorry, I'm not used to playing spellcasters, primary spellcasters, sort of.
No, you're good, man.
Sorry, this is my first time in a bear's mouth. You'll have to bear
Doesn't-
with me.
Just a
Have
macro
to
test
bear
there.
with you.
I'm Dr. Durden.
Pardon me, this is my first Ursine Deep Throat.
Oh, ew.
Or saying Deep Throat
Um,
would be a good name for a band.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
We
All
just-
right, I'm
dealing
going
with
to use my what's it called? Spell Strike.
Okay.
Or no. What's the one?
Spell combat.
Yeah,
Spell strike, spell combat. Yeah.
yeah. All right, so I get a spell and an attack, essentially, and with the spell, I'm going to cast True Strike.
Okay.
Mm.
Give me a
No.
concentration check.
I was gonna say when you're grappled, yeah, do you have to roll for concentration? I know eventually you get a way to bypass it.
Concentration.
Should be on your spells tab.
Yeah, I'm just
It's like
concentration
two...
check. There it is.
Well,
Nope.
Fuck.
Spell fizzles, but you can still slash.
All right, I'm gonna hit it with my light mace
Boop it. Boop it in the snoot.
Boop the snoot.
at -2 because I used my spell combat. God damn it!
Hey!
Hey!
What
Doesn't
is
matter.
that?
Yeah!
The dice giveth and the dice
Dice.
taketh away. Whoa!
Where it
Higher
gets
left.
fucking ice
Did
off
I
it with
roll
your
a
mace.
20 on my crit
Yes,
confirm?
you did. Hey,
Yeah.
Look, just for you there, man. Look at that. Look at that nice little dice bag. Dice give it, and dice take it.
Hey.
away.
Yeah, they
He
do.
didn't need that true strike.
Higher low. Higher low.
Always high.
Hey.
Oh!
Oh!
Holy
Damn!
shit.
Oh!
Oh my god.
Just give that bear brain damage.
Damn.
How do you want to kill this thing?
He just walks up and he tries
Walks
to, or I'm
He's
sorry,
in
yeah,
his
he's
mouth.
he's
Yeah,
being
you're
held by the thing,
Yeah.
and he tries to cast True Strike with it, and the spell just kind of fizzles, and he's done. He's dirty, he's covered in bear drool, and he's
Horse
riding a
patches.
disgusting horse through these disgusting woods, and he just wangs it right upside the head, and just hits it right above the eye, crushing the orbital socket, and the whole thing just goes right into its brain.
Bone
and
right
it
into its
dies.
brain, the thing just drops. Blap, burp, and he just crumples to the ground. And you're kind of still half in its mouth, but it's dead.
Asmar walks up and tries to boot off of and offers him a hand.
There's
Well struck.
There's a podcast I follow that they do it. You know, if you nat 20, you nat 20 on the confirm, you get to roll a third 20, and if you nat 20 the third one, instant kill. No, it's always.
I mean,
fun,
that's
but it's like-
that's what just happened, dude.
Okay.
Nat
Well, yeah, no,
20, nat
it'll
20,
effectively-
100 on
Yeah,
the
I know.
higher low.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up. It's effectively the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, at my dad's table we had exploding crits.
Well, yeah. Well, I used to do it. We do nat 20, and then if you didn't confirm it, you get exploding dice instead of whatever to still make it. Give you something for the nat 20.
I mean, you can't argue with that.
No, I mean, that's-
that was awesome.
that was some good RNG right there.
yeah, that's
You should
that's good.
screenshot that. You should screenshot that.
That's screenshotable. Somebody
fantastic.
screenshot that. That was beautiful.
I got it.
That was beautiful.
He's like,
Af-
this is so disgusting, and he just casts prestidigitation, and sloughs off all of the bear juice.
I cast Cure Light Wounds, and I dump a potion on you.
Oh God! Why did you wait until after I'd cleaned myself?
What are
Well,
your
that
potions?
one's wine based.
What do your potions smell like?
Yeah, what do they smell like? Cough syrup?
This one smells like lavender.
Ooh.
Let me see. Smells nice.
Velvet and lavender.
My light wounds smell like lavender.
Ooh, I like that. Good.
Note it. Edit the macro.
You should. It smells of
I
lavender.
only got 5 healing out of that, but it's better than nothing.
Better than kicking
At
the
least
tire.
it smells good.
So this bear that has its head crushed is very strange looking. And unlike a creature that may have been possessed, nothing pops out, nothing jumps away. The creature itself appears to have been transformed. There are tiny little reddish horns growing out of its forehead. Its back has these almost like reptilian-like ridges. And
It's got back knee.
And its claws are razor sharp and slightly tinted dark purple. It smells a little bit like sulfur as well.
These
And-
claws are interesting. Perhaps we should harvest.
Oh, Asmar
them.
was gonna skin and dress the whole thing. I mean,
Well, yeah, I would say, but if they're razor sharp, but they're like a purple, like there might be.
Whatever
Use
you
them.
make of this creature would surely be evil. I don't think it's a good idea.
I think we must use all resources available to us.
I'm not certain that is the case. The aura on this poor creature is terribly evil.
You can still see.
or then perhaps we should just decapitate it and leave, so it can't be resurrected.
We should burn.
I would
it.
rather burn it.
I was gonna say burn it. I'd still want. I don't even want the claws to like make something from them. I'm just curious, like if we can take somebody's like what's special about these? You know, why are they purple and weird and whatever is more of his angle.
A sample for research, I suppose.
yeah,
but we
it's
should
more of a
definitely burn
sample.
the rest.
Yeah, no, we can do that. We can easily burn it.
Asmar will pull a tooth and offer it to Garflo before they start burning it, if he wants the thing, the one of the big canines.
He gags a little bit. No. Why would I want such a disgusting thing?
He pulls one out of his side.
Blau, please. He's not a calculator. He doesn't have a massive trophy collection.
He spattered this bear's head. That's a storytelling piece, not a trophy.
It was one time I was being eaten by a low-born bear. All right.
And then I wasn't.
You'll still
He
be happy
takes
to
it-
know. You'll still be happy to know. Blau, calculator still collects hats.
Yes.
He still
Go ahead,
collects
Drew.
hats.
Sorry.
Hats,
yeah.
you said.
I said he'll take it. He looks disgusted, but like I suppose I should probably keep it.
Hey,
It'll make a good
how many
story.
times can you say you fell in a blow in one hit while you were in its mouth?
True.
when you take that tooth, high or low?
Oh,
Hi.
Perfect.
Either way, Asmar will start collecting firewood and
no.
looking for Garflo's horse while out, in that direction.
I don't
You
even think we
find
need,
it.
like,
It ran
firewood.
off.
We just set it on
got
fire.
tangled up in some bushes with its lead and reins, but you find it.
Yeah, I don't even think we need to collect firewood. I think we could just.
I think fiendish animals have DR fire. I think you might collect firewood.
Oh, okay. No, that's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point.
It'll burn real slow.
Real slow.
Just trying to think if I could do any heaven star shit and just burn it, but I can't.
That's why I was saying just cut the head off and walk away, because that'll prevent a raised dead or troll regeneration or anything like that. But
Well, I still think set burning it just is good practice because just so someone
absolutely.
else doesn't come along and try and make something from it.
they'll just have the claws and purple bones ready to go. Perfect.
Wolverine bear.
Yes.
The newest trailer looks pretty good. Looks
Oh
pretty
my
good.
god.
Yeah, I watched it when you posted it, Drew. Looks good.
Which one?
So good.
Wolverine.
The
and Deadpool.
Wolverine and Deadpool.
Yeah, I haven't watched it.
There were so many F-bombs. I was like, yes. Yes, 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 yes.
Oh, they finally learned that hey, people will go see R-rated anti-hero movies.
Absolutely.
You gotta love a good Red Band trailer.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Either way.
It's like adults have the money, make movies for them.
Oh, absolutely. So
Yeah, they
you
don't buy
guys
toys,
clear
though.
off.
Yeah.
You burn the body. It sounds like, which wouldn't take you too long to find enough wood to pile it up and make.
I think there was abandoned campfire there as well. Like I'm sure there was stuff we could
Oh,
use.
sure.
Well, we're in a forest. It's not going to take us more
So you
than
continue
a
onward,
minute or two.
heading north. This is your first day of several that it will take you to reach the monastery. The road does end, about midday, and you're now traveling through dense forest. As you're moving on and on and on, the sun is slowly moving up and over, starts to curve back down, and the sounds of animals and birds, that sort of agitated tweeting and chittering that you're hearing, slowly but eventually does die away until there's that unearthly kind of silence, right? Like there should be some sort of noise. You should see a squirrel, you should see a bird, you should hear woodpecker, something. And as you're getting closer and closer to the north, it starts to grow quieter and quieter until there is just the rustling of leaves, a little bit of breeze, a little bit of whistling of the wind that may blow through, and that's it. It is a very eerie kind of quiet. You are, at this point, roughly 15 or so miles away from Kurduth. You've been traveling for the majority of the day, making what good time that you can. And you are coming near to a sort of small clearing that you can see up ahead. And I'm going to have you guys give a quick perception check on this particular clearing to see if you can notice something about what is up ahead.
I've been doing something wrong.
Hey.
I shall remedy that.
I don't got it today.
22. Let's see.
Beautiful,
Oh,
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
20. Not bad. I get alertness from my minion, and I forgot about that. So I get an extra +2 on my perception checks.
All right.
There it is.
As
Weird
things
call.
start to clear slightly, you see up ahead what appears to be a large brown elk that looks to have been partially dressed, but not completely. And it kind of looks like its side has been eaten into. Now, with that 24, Asmar, as you were approaching this small clearing, you saw a humanoid figure, 2 legs, 2 arms, and a head, move away from this particular clearing, sort of dart as it may have heard you guys approaching. Okay? Now, to describe it, it looked, again, humanoid, a little bit taller than average for a human, and it was either wearing some sort of crown or may have had horns. You're not sure. You only got a glimpse of it from where you're at. But this is the scene you see before you. How would you like to proceed?
See it on the other side of the clearing? Maybe a
Move
man.
from this log right here, to give you an idea,
Mhm.
up to somewhere over here where the trees are more dense.
Maybe a man, maybe not. Asmar's going to slip off of his horse and kind of try and fade into the forest a little bit, try and see if it's still watching. He wants to find it before it finds them.
Why
I'll
have we
stay
stopped?
close.
I believe Asma has detected something.
Man or devil. I'm not sure which. Man or lowborn. But with the silence in this forest, I don't like it.
Can
I'm gonna go take
I? Again, and
Oh,
this
that's
is,
good.
Yeah, and this is a wolf thing. Are there restless spirits in the area? Is there chaos and turmoil?
You
Turmoil,
want
or
to
is
try
it?
and access your...
Yeah, just kind of just second sight, just kind of get the feel. Is like this is some shit going down? Do I feel weird? Am I seeing dead people, or is this just a calm forest with a dead elk in it?
Usually when you close your eyes, you see something.
Mm-hmm.
What's strange about this is you see nothing. You see the spirit realm, but there is a decided
It's quiet.
lack of restless spirits.
Okay. Before Asmar takes off, Vidrin will I mean, they're
Yeah.
they're a practice pair. They've traveled for
Mhm.
a couple of years at this point. This is always why he talks to him, relies on him, because they know how each other functions. And can kind of just do stuff,
The
make
bosom
grunts, whatever.
buddies. Continue.
Yeah. They know what's up. But he's gonna tell Asma,
Bunkmates, as it were.
I see nothing, and that concerns me.
I've never heard that before. And he'll slip off into the leaves. And he's going to continue moving counterclockwise around this clearing while they move into it, presumably.
As you move
Yeah.
counterclockwise up, when you get to roughly right here, I'm not exactly sure what your plan was, but you get to about right here.
Yeah, just around the clearing, so you can
Yep.
check the bushes that can look into the
You will
clearing from the edges
see,
of it.
crouched low, a unique individual with a sword sheath sort of horizontal to his back so that he would draw it like with his right hand. And he looks a little bit like this.
Can I get up behind him with the stealth check I rolled?
That was pretty good. He does not see you.
It's like a oversized swole kobold thing.
Kinda,
Yeah.
yeah.
A swobold.
A swobold, if you
God.
will.
Dear
Dear
my
God.
Because I assume he's sitting still trying to stay hidden while he's watching into the clearing.
He is, yes.
Yeah, well, Vidrin's not trying to make. He's just walking, so he's probably making some noise. through
Yeah,
the
and I
brush
assume
stuff.
they all dismounted as well, so that looks like 3
Yes.
people leading 3 horses,
Yep.
which
Yes.
is perfect.
Yep.
As far as
Aw.
him not thinking there's someone else sneaking up on.
Yeah,
Oh, poor dear.
that would be an elk.
So just move
Oh.
me however close I can get, wherever I can get to it. As they move up, I'm gonna let you keep pace for me narratively.
And then you guys would be
And just
up near to where the elk is.
Mm-hmm.
As they get close to the elk, the individual crouches lower and lower, simply trying to remain hidden. I will give them a perception check.
Yeah. Do it. You give them several. I mean, I'll because I'm having to get closer and closer.
2,
I mean,
3.
So as I get up on him.
Yeah, you would get right up on him. He would turn and his eyes would go wide. His hand would start to go towards the hilt of his blade, but you would be upon him. So if you wanted to be threatening or...
I would just catch the hand, my left hand to his right, and put my hand onto my kukri and just shake my head and say, "Over here, companions."
Yeah. No, if hearing Esmar call out, he'll Vidrin never seems to run anywhere, but he does see, even when he's moving fast, he just seems to be walking at a
moving with haste, swat walk.
moving. Yeah, it's just he's a fucking weirdo. Anyway, oh, okay. You know what? I'm just always assume the little rock creature's there, but I'm only gonna pop it out in combat because it's annoying trying to move 2 fucking tokens.
And as they move up, Asmar's going to let go of his hand and take a step back when, hands up. I'm not here to stab you. That's not why I'm here.
Imagine he was crouched low. He turned hearing you, sort of fell back against the log. So he's sitting. And as you let go of his hands come back. They raise up, non-threatening. Please don't stab me. And
Vidrin will just go and sit on a log beside him.
He looks beside himself, looks forward to you. And it takes everyone in. And then he offers I would describe it as almost like a reptilian smile. Give me a knowledge the plains.
Oh yeah.
On this creature.
So Vidrin's there's this log or whatever, and he does the old man thing. He's kind of got flaps out the back of his his robes or whatever. He's got his staff stick, and he just sits down like an old wizard. Kind of. I said plains. I got you.
Yeah, as they're kind of reading each other, Asmar says, "Do you speak common?" And then he'll give a couple
27.
seconds. If he doesn't respond, he'll skip over and say, "Do you speak Elven?" And Elven.
Does anyone speak Draconic?
I believe I do. I might.
I did. The one time I don't take fucking Draconic.
Let me double check.
And what was your knowledge of the plains?
I know 7
20.
lines.
19.
19.
Minus 19.
27.
27.
This guy is a plane touched, which are
Plane-touched.
super fucking rare.
Super.
This one looks like it might be a tiefling.
Tiefling,
So to
okay.
describe a little bit, since Godfall, plane touched, tieflings, Aasimers, etc.,
Yes, I
hyper
speak
hyper rare,
Draconic.
generally are not born, and those that are closely guarded, protected, held, like kept in monasteries and what have you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they're very, very, very
Yeah,
rare.
proof of the presence of other planes.
Correct.
No.
This creature is unique. You've likely never seen one before in your lives. Maybe you've never even heard of them. Obviously,
read
Verdun
about
would have.
one.
You may have read about them.
Yeah.
But this one seems maybe a
You know-
little malnourished.
I'll say he's met an Aasimar once many years ago on the road, and it was an odd experience, but that's his only encounter ever with plane touch.
Like it was super rare. And the
No.
person was trying to keep their identity hidden.
He
sort of thing.
only reason he ever noticed is because of his connection to the heavens, and that's his like whole domain thing is a heavens thing.
And
so
the
like
person probably
he could see
denied
one.
it to like all lengths ends. Like, no,
Yeah,
I'm not.
but
That's crazy. I'm just a person.
because Vidrin's not obviously he's human. Well, I say obviously he's human, but he is connected to Diel, and he is heaven's domain. And so like,
like
an
that.
Aasimar might stand out like a fucking nightlight to him
Yeah,
because he
I
just
like that. That's
he
good.
has that heavens connection,
I
but
like that.
he's never encountered anybody
Beautiful.
else.
Beautiful. So this one, you cycle through. So common doesn't say anything. Elven doesn't say anything. It speaks in Draconic. So the one of you that speaks Draconic. This one means no harm. Was simply trying to eat. Found meat. Old kill. Will simply go. Means no harm.
He says he means no harm.
I haven't stabbed him yet.
I was gonna say sense motive, but I'm not trained in it.
Well, also, I think you get a penalty if you don't speak their language.
Correct.
True. I won't do it because it would be cheesy, but I put a point in linguistics and never took another language. So I'll say that after this encounter, he wants to learn Draconic, and I'll add it to my list. But okay, I never spent any of my skill points actually. Stupid. Anyway, I mean, he seems pretty chill, and Vidrin's just like sitting right beside him. Like he's like, he's not like touching him, but he's like comfortably sitting beside him. He's like he did with the squirrel. He's like, he's chill. He doesn't give a shit. I believe him. He seems fun.
Does he look
we
like
get a
he's
second
accustomed?
opinion?
Does he look like he's accustomed to being out here?
He does
Like
not.
he lives. Okay. Is there like an apple tree or anything nearby? Some just easy source of food that he wouldn't have noticed because he's not used to being out in the wilderness.
I'm just gonna
Sure.
give him some rations.
Yeah,
That
Asmar will
would be.
collect a couple apples as well, and bring him
Offer him
down,
some-
offer him out to the party.
Offer him some jerky, road jerky. I assume this
He
might be default.
takes the food offered somewhat hesitantly at first, but as you might see some of you eat the apples,
yep.
he'll dig into it, and his eyes light up. They're sort of bright, but they're this like sort of yellowish, almost like serpentine kind of coloring. And
Asmar,
go ahead.
sorry, kind of looks to Garflo expectantly, like continue the conversation, keep up the rapport.
Vidrin oh, go ahead. Good.
We have food if you need some.
This one
We're-
is very hungry. It's not eaten. Not much to eat where this one was.
How fresh is that elk kill? Can we tell? Somebody make a survival on it.
couple of days.
Oh, days. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a little past.
It's spring. It's pretty chill, but it's probably not very good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna risk it. I've had
No.
food poisoning in real life. I'm not gonna deal with that.
No, it's not great.
Yeah, it's not great. If we were in like the Hoth or something, it'd be like fine, but we're not. Vidrin communicating through Garflow, Vidrin will say, "I have met someone of your kind before. Different, but the same. Touched by other planes."
As you translate Garflow, the expression on this person's face grows more and more confused. Like whatever you're explaining to him doesn't make any sense.
Okay. I mean, you said he's a tiefling. Is that just for our understanding, or as someone who's like literally knowledge of planes is my best skill? what I know. Are they just plain touched? Do we know the difference between, it's like, oh, here's plain touch, and then they're broke down into subcategories, or do we just call them
You
plain
know
touched?
with your check that he's a tiefling. You don't know
He's a
what
tiefling.
type,
Okay.
etc. It's just something that even with that 27, it's very, very unknown and forgotten knowledge.
Yeah, we are not educated enough to know it at our
Correct.
best.
Well,
Yes.
it's not even maybe not even our educated. It's just, well, I mean, yeah, it's society doesn't know. It's just the information
Correct.
doesn't
It
exist.
doesn't exist anymore.
This
It's
article is
lost.
a stub. You can help by expanding it.
Correct.
Well, yeah, when you get to like plus 25, 20, 27, 30 type knowledges, you're not going to Wikipedia. You're
Oh, yeah,
knowing esoteric hidden
Oh, yeah,
shit out
no,
of a
you're-
library that no one else knows about.
You're going down to the bottom. You're checking the sources. You're using the source, and then you're going to find the source that source uses a source, and it just doesn't exist.
Correct.
Make sure to get your 5 HP, Garflo, that I healed you earlier, so you're not.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
Half health.
Well, yeah. I mean, can we tell it's evil?
Bertrand isn't the best judge of character.
I
That's funny.
mean, Vidrin is true neutral, so he's not one to really judge.
His confusion on this creature's face turns into a curious expression. He turns around slowly, apple in one hand, jerky in the other, and sort of straddles the log, looking at Verdun, but his like body facing Verdun, but his head is turned towards Garflo because he's having the conversation with Garflo, right?
Yeah.
And he says, "These ones before this one, they live with the trees?"
With the trees. Ones that came before.
He gestured at Asmar, or
At all of you. He's asking if all of you live among the trees.
Oh,
Ask him where he's from.
I was gonna say, to answer his question, no, we are travelers in this part of the wood, passing through.
he'd lean over and whisper between ASCII and Garflo, so it's quiet enough that they wouldn't hear him. Well, the threat already knows that the village exists. There's no reason to keep that obfuscated. Might as well build rapport with him. The low spawn have been there. Even if he's with them, they know.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, it's somebody have. Well, no, I was gonna say detect alignment, but that's.
I use my one cast of sea alignment for today already on the bear. I would love to be able to use it here, but
I think I have detect fiendish presence. Let me see if I have it memorized today.
Well,
I don't think that's
well, I
not
was
going
gonna
to
say-
help. I don't think because he's
Yeah.
definitely fiendish.
Yeah, it's
like if it was
definitely fiendish.
detect infernal presence, it might help. It tell us if he's demonic rather than infernal.
I've got fiendish.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's
Well-
gonna pop fiendish, but I'm trying to just determine its alignment because I mean,
Well,
Ask
that's what
him
I mean.
where
Because
he's from.
fiendish is all the lower planes.
yeah. Well, I mean, and two, I mean, you can be a fiend and then still be, I mean, like
An
Harlan
okay
was
guy.
chaotic. Well, Harlan was chaotic neutral. I mean,
You might be a bad guy, but you are not bad
Bad
guy.
you can be a tiefling and still be a fucking paladin. So I'm just trying to.
Yeah, but if he's
this guy
he's
seems
here
chill.
from hell, that's a real problem as far as upbringing goes.
I mean, he could have been sequestered his entire life, or maybe there's an enclave of tieflings somewhere around here. We don't know. We're new to this here. I mean,
No, 100%. I think
we
we should ask the question. I'm just saying Asmar's not the guy to ask. He doesn't speak the language, and he's also pretty
Oh
quiet.
yeah, no, yeah, no. I don't think we have a way to. I mean, we should just ask him like, what's he doing here? Like,
Yeah, where are you
in
from?
these birds.
where are you from?
Yeah, TLDR. Where are you from?
Garflo, how do you ask that question? Do you simply ask where you're from, or phrase it? How do you phrase it?
I would probably ask him like where do you hail from?
He ponders the question, looking up at the trees. There's a almost childlike wonderment and curiosity that sort of paints his expression. This one did live where the stones are stacked upon the others. High to where only the tops of trees could be seen. Know that there was a forest beyond, but not allowed to visit.
Are we
allowed to depart.
close enough to see a mountain to point to? Or is there there's not enough clearing?
There are mountains that you can see in the distance to the north. Yeah, I'll move you guys over really quick just so you can see the...
Yeah, if he translates that, Asmar would point and, shrug.
So there are mountains literally directly north of you
Yeah.
guys. So you can see like very tall mountains, yeah.
I don't actually know in real life how far away you can see a mountain from.
I would
I'll be
say
honest.
you'll see it. What?
Okay, that's fair.
Oh yeah, as long as it pops up over the horizon,
Yeah.
you can see one from
They're
pretty far
very tall.
distance. Like, yeah, you can see Mount Fuji in Japan from fucking everywhere, apparently.
Mhm.
Yeah, but he
goes
would
he goes
point
on
and kind of shrug.
says, This one did find a moment where eyes looked elsewhere. Agitated were his caretakers. Slip away he did. And now has been lost among the trees.
Was he a prisoner? Asmar would say that out loud.
He bites into his apple and chews some jerky.
Ask him what color the sky was.
Asmar makes his way back around to the apple tree and collects a couple more while they're talking.
What color was the sky from where you're from?
He ponders. Blue. Sometimes black. Sometimes filled with stars. This one likes when the sky was clear at night. The bright lights he could see.
So this is a plain touched individual who is probably either being held prisoner or, not an actual prisoner. You know what I mean? Like
like one of the people kept in a temple, like Wolf was saying.
Yeah. And while they were distracted, possibly with the low spawn invasion, he slipped away into the forest and has been lost for a couple days.
Asmar is going to say something intentionally, but he's going to watch the guy's reaction to it. He's going to speak in common. Says, I think this one's good. And he wants to watch and make sure he's not bullshitting them saying he can't speak common.
He makes no move. He doesn't seem to understand. He continues to chew his apple happily and finishes off the piece of jerky and is left. Yeah.
What do we know about...
But he did mean that as well to the rest of the party, to be clear. He thinks this one's fine.
Vidrin is the only one... Well, no. Garflow also knows about the planes. But what do we know about Draconic? Because this guy speaks Draconic.
It is spoken by mages. Mages are somewhat uncommon because magic is not necessarily feared, but it is... wizards have to be old and learn, and a lot of wizards died, and it was also thought that magic was part of the reason, like arcane magic was part of the reason that shit went to shit. But colleges still exist, people still train. Draconic is of all of the other languages other than like Elven, Dwarven, Halfling, and Gnome, Draconic is the most common spoken, but it's mostly spoken in like
it's a scholarly language.
It's a scholarly language, yeah.
Oh, it's very interesting.
Yeah, so
Latin.
it's like
Like Latin, yeah.
Like Latin, exactly. It would be considered. It'd be very similar to like Latin, yeah.
Okay. Do we know of any like monasteries or colleges that are near us, maybe across the border?
Not in this area, no. Well, let me put it this way. Hold on one second. Let me.
Well, we're going to the one, but it's abandoned, right? We think it's abandoned.
Supposedly
Yeah.
abandoned. Apparently. So there, you are in the Flothal Empire. Folsumia exists to the west. Folsumia is where the tower, this arcane tower, exists, which is surrounded by the dead wood, and it's where a majority of the magic items come. It's like where all the a lot of magic items in the continent are made. And it is apparently run by a bunch of old mages that there are rumors they might not be alive. I don't know, but it's due
Is
west.
that we
from
share the
here.
border?
You do share the border with them, yes.
Okay.
I can actually move you guys over to that map really quick to show you.
Seeing that this guy isn't going to get violent, Asmar's going to branch off a little bit further and say, "I'm going to find some water in case we need to have him stay here, and we can get him on a return back. We want to take him back to
You
town."
guys are like right up in here. Or actually, hold on one second. Let me double check something.
We're like right here, I
guys
thought.
Are...
Or in
okay,
here.
Okay. So you guys are like right up in this area right here. Okay, like right up in here. All right.
Okay.
And the tower exists due west from you guys.
Hmm.
Yeah. So it's like over 100 miles, but like, yeah.
Like a good 5 or 8 day walk. We walked in a straight line through the
Correct.
forest.
Correct.
Yeah, but a guy just. Yeah, I don't.
think
Well,
those-
maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He seems more scared than threatening, to be honest. But then again, the imp was pretty deceiving as well.
Yeah.
But also,
Well,
imp
but the
wasn't
imp was
starving.
Well, the imp was also just doing some shit too. Like it was shady from the beginning. This guy just seems lost.
Seems scared and hungry.
Yeah, he's just lost and hungry. I mean, he doesn't seem, he's not. Plus,
Bolted the second he heard sound.
well, yeah. Plus, I mean, I think, that's reasonable. You're alone
Yeah.
in the woods. You hear noise.
And
I mean,
but also think about it this way. We got pretty close before he heard us. He is not used to being out here, very clearly.
yeah, but he's got enough awareness to still. I mean, if we had some pretty decently high perception,
We did.
checks, and then a really good
I
stealth,
John Wicked his stealth, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I mean, but as soon as he heard something, he went and hid because he doesn't know if it's a predator or whatever. So he's got some instinct.
Yeah,
so he's not.
He
Complete.
does.
I mean,
What do we
All
do?
right, let me take it back. It's about 190 miles away from where you guys
Oh,
are.
that's a pretty long
Yeah, it's
walk.
almost 200 miles.
yeah,
I
that's.
didn't
I don't
have
think he's
the-
from
I
there.
didn't have the overland map set up correctly, so I just
Yeah.
fixed that for you guys. Fixed
I
it.
mean,
All right.
that's
Yeah,
even-
I don't think he's from there.
Even on horseback, that's still like what, 2 weeks of travel.
Correct.
You can make 50
Thereabouts.
miles on horseback on good roads.
Yeah, but at a moderate pace. I mean,
Yeah.
I think in this it's supposed to be like what, 20. Well, no, let's just say
It's
20.
it's 24, but that's not assuming roads and everything. I
So
don't
we
think.
have an escaped object of worship who's probably born near and has lived in prison his entire life.
Yeah, I don't know what we.
Somewhere nearby, presumably, because he's just been walking on foot. Do we?
Hoofs or foot? That's a good question, I
He
think.
has feet.
Okay.
He's-
No, I just want to make sure we're not misidentifying a half fiend here.
Yeah, no, he straight up said he's effectively a
Yeah.
tiefling. So, I ask
Maybe
him
the
what-
monastery never shut down.
ask him what his intention is, or is he just
Yeah.
wandering?
What are your goals here?
Is he traveling the same direction we are? I mean, what's up?
What do you
You-
want?
Yeah, do you seek people? Do you avoid people?
How
Are
do
you just
answer-
trying to
how do
escape where you
ask the
came
question,
from?
Garfolo?
What since you've left, what are your goals? What do you wish to do now that you have left?
Now that you're free.
Now that you're free, yeah.
question seems completely foreign to him. His expression grows very confused, curious. This one's goals, desire.
What is your plan? What do you do next?
This one finishes this apple.
Fair.
And tomorrow, what will you do tomorrow?
More trees, more apples and trees. No.
Literally, he goes, find more apples? This one has not had to make choices for what to do. Has often been told what to do. To train, prepare. Always preparing, always training. Never told what for. Always wondering what was below the tops of trees. Trunks. Trunks are below the tops of trees, he says with a kind of smile, as though he's discovering something for the first time. And
What
explaining
was
it
your
to
training in? The sword, words, spells?
He glances down to the blade at his back. This one was taught to fight with steel.
Are there more of your kind with the horns?
This one was alone, save for the brothers and the sister.
The brothers and sister?
Looked after
Sought to
him,
escape them. Are they
did not let
good
him
people?
leave. What is good? They simply
They treat you well.
they fed, clothed, and trained this one. But this one's heart was filled with wonder and a lust to see the outside. Would like to return, but is very lost.
All right. We have some. We basically have three options the way I see it. Feel free to add your own. We can leave him. We can take him with us to the monastery, which I'm assuming is where he came from, which would be returning him to the people we're probably going to slaughter or something.
Well, I thought we knew that he came. Where was the wizard thing part of the West? What was
So
the?
That
I
was
Wizard
too
thing's
far.
far.
We've kind of determined that that's too far.
As a point
Oh,
of
we've determined this too
reference
far. Okay,
To
sorry.
know
Yeah,
where the primary area of wizards in the local region would be.
Okay. Well, have we asked him what direction he came from?
He doesn't know.
You think
There's
he
no way he
knows?
knows.
He doesn't. Well, so, I mean, the sun comes up in the east, sets in the west.
You
I mean,
think he knows?
Bro didn't know what the bottom of trees were until yesterday.
Yeah. So a couple days ago.
And then the third option is we take him back to town. We try and
That'll go
set him up
well
with a
the
life.
common folk. Hey, devils are attacking. Here's a devil.
Yeah,
Well, they don't know. They don't know that. They don't even know what they fucking look like.
Well,
So those are our
he's
three options the
weird
way
and
I
different
see it.
looking. Let's burn him at the
He's
stake.
definitely weird and different looking.
we could also. I mean, well, too is we could bring him with us and then just. I was gonna say disguise the fuck out of him, but I mean that's still with the horns. It's kind of hard to do.
Asmar says, I wouldn't feel right leaving him out here in the forest. He clearly can't survive out here.
Yeah, it's like leaving a. It's like I almost feel like I do when I see like a kitten outside. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
The
I
tiefling distribution
think
system is hard at work.
I think we set him up here. We leave him under the apple tree. I find a stream nearby that he can get water from. We come back after the monastery and lead him back to town. I don't think he's a threat. Says he's trained to fight. I was able to sneak up on him. I don't think he's anything beyond our capability to deal with. If we do take him back. But I would feel remiss taking him to the monastery and watching if that's where he is from, either having him turn against us and having his if we slaughter the followers. And I would feel remiss leaving him out here in the forest alone.
I mean, we could always bring him with us, and then when we get closer to the monastery, set up a camp or something.
Hey, we're gonna go and murder your family. Just wait here.
Well, I mean, if he's trying to get away from him, I mean, but I'm saying we could always set up a thing, be like, stay here, low key, go do our monastery shit, and then come back and grab him. Just.
Anyways, while they discuss what they're going to do, Asmar's going to go try and find a stream.
Survival check.
Okay.
Good sir.
I think it would be better to leave him farther away. In case they try and like retake him for whatever purpose.
That's why I think right here is the best
He
bet.
might be like his
Yeah. How far
his
are we from the
tiefling blood
monastery?
might be fueling something as well. Like they might be using him as a component. Might be good
Better
to keep
take him away. Yeah.
How far do we know about how far we are from this monastery?
20 miles, I think, something like
20
that.
Yeah, about
miles?
20.
That's
Yeah.
so less than a day's travel.
Long
Thereabouts.
enough that if they pick a random direction and walk, they're not going to find him.
Yeah. I mean, we could help him set up some sort of camp here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's not just like
Spend
in
an
the
hour or
woods.
two teaching him a couple of things and helping set
Well,
up
so
like
we've been how
camp
far
or
have we
two.
been traveling today?
We made about 20 miles, say 15, 20 miles.
Yeah, I mean, we've done so. I mean, we could realistically just set up a camp, sleep for the day, and then just leave camp set up, or at least some of camp set up, and be like,
Yeah.
just stay here. We got a thing to do. We'll come back. We will get you, and then you can travel with us until we find you. Whatever.
Asmar would pose to Garflo, say, could you tell him that we don't know where he's from, but we can take him back somewhere safe with other people?
How many weirdos do we have in the town we're from?
What was that?
What?
Is it the town we're from that we came from originally, that we started the whole thing? Like, do we know, like, are there any, is it pretty homogenous, or is there just a little bit of everybody there?
Mostly human.
Mostly human.
Couple elves, couple dwarves, couple halflings, but it's primarily human.
He can hold up in the Gorm. There's weird types that show up for mercenary work, I imagine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, probably.
And especially if he knows how to fight, we
Yeah,
can
I mean, he could just
we can
yeah, we
pose
could
it
make him
as
a
a-
member.
we could teach
you
him
know?
language and stuff. That's easy. So yeah, I mean,
Just
so
one point in linguistics.
I propose. Well, yeah, I'm saying. I mean, he seems. He doesn't seem stupid. He just doesn't know.
Yeah,
it's whatever.
how do you learn languages? I go out and I kill a couple of bears and decide what
I
I want to
wait-
learn.
I forget about it on my phone until the stupid owl yells at me. That's what I do. Oh, you should keep learning German. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But we make camp for the night. Don't break camp completely down. Leave him here. Tell him to stay here. We'll come back for him. Go do our thing. It's less than a day's travel. Go to the monastery. See what the fuck's up. Do that. Come back. Get him. Go wherever. Does that sound like an agreeable
Works.
plan to everybody?
For me.
All right. Presumably returning, having found a room with a DC 17 survival check
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
or 17 survival check. He'll take a sack of apples because he'll leave trail rations too. But I don't want to burn all of our food if we get stuck for a couple of days up there.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, we've got we've been traveling for how many days?
One.
Well, I mean, yeah, I've got you start with the well, I know I bought the adventurers pack or whatever. It's like you start with like 7 days worth of food.
Yeah, I've got 5. Point being, if we each give him 2, or each give him 1, we're all down 1 day's food. Give him a day of apples. He's by water. We're good. We leave. We can stay up there for a couple of days.
Leave
Make
him
it on
for
our way back.
Leave.
We might be hungry on the last day. It's fine.
We leave a tent or something. We leave him some sort of shelter, or we just make one. I mean, it's not hard to make shelter.
Is he agreeable to that plan? Is the question.
Yeah, that's the big thing. We could be the first people he's
Garflo,
encountered
how do you
outside his
explain
thing.
this to him?
Do we have a map?
God, no. Maps are expensive.
No, we don't have a map.
The Gorm had like 2 maps.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if maybe they linked us a map or something.
What do you think? What do you think? I'm made of money?
Made
Map
of money?
money? Get out of here.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Got you 2.5 horses.
My companion projects a holographic map of the area.
I guess what are our how do I want to say it?
Words matter, my friend. Words
I know.
matter.
I mean, we set up shelter, we set up camp for the night. We're
Asmar shrugs and say we want to take him somewhere safe where he will also have choice.
yeah, we feel obligated to help him. 'Cause that's what
Okay.
Gorm does, helps
Okay.
people.
My friends and I would like to help you
Hmm.
to make sure that you can be safe. Would that be something that you would like?
He ponders the question. He finishes a second apple, eats the core and all, just delicious. Smiles, kind of licking the apple juices off of his fingers.
Just checking my macro. Obviously not
This
stabbing
one
him.
would-
I kill him.
This one would this one would like to be safe. This one has no family close by. No friends. These ones will be this one's friend, yes?
Yes. We would like to be his friend, right?
This one is called Havala. Havala of the Revelry. And he dips his head.
Havala with an A or H or a J?
H-A-V-A-L-A, Havala.
H-A.
Of the Revelry.
HAAJHHHJ.
Havalo. I am
Hashtag YOLO swag.
I am Garfolo.
XX
then-
Havala XX.
And then he points to each of you to let you introduce yourselves.
That's Marsalehi.
I am Vadrun. He gives like a bow as he says it.
And he says, I am Vadrun. Points at him.
Aski kind of just gives like a little nervous head shake. She's still not totally sold on the idea, and she knows that giving Hellspawn names is bad, and so she's being very careful with her name right now. So she's taking a step back from this. She's still not certain.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Sniffs the air, giving a hungry look towards her.
you just give him something.
But yeah, Asmar will
Do you have
set
a-
camp.
Does Eski have a nickname of any sort?
Aski.
Kiki.
I don't even think she has a last name, let alone a nickname.
Well, yeah, Vadrun doesn't have a last name either. I mean, he has a title, but he doesn't have a last name. He did, but he's forgotten it.
Anyways, I like the plan.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
is
Asmar will set
amenable to
camp.
it. He seems happy if there's going to be food. He knows where water is, and you explain to him. It sounds like, hey, we have to go do something a little bit farther away, but we'll be back in a day or two, and just hang out, eat some apples, and don't get lost.
Yeah. And we specifically move away from the carcass. So if a bear or
That's
wolf
smart.
or something shows up,
Yeah.
they don't eat him.
Okay. See, that's smart. I like that. So you guys have you guys have befriended a tiefling.
Vala of the Reverie.
Vala of the Revelry. And
Possibly
we're
one
gonna
of the
pivot back
only
over
tieflings
to
on the continent.
You
their-
know, he came from a monastery or something like that. Does Asmar have anything like a book that he could read? Like I don't like Asmar doesn't read on a regular basis, but is there any kind of documentation he needs to give the guy to see if he can read? Because he might be more educated than he is like experienced in language, you know?
Ooh.
Draconic Bible.
I mean,
Like
what
might
would
have
you
like a
on
Gorm
you?
handbook or
What would you-
something,
what
like
would you have? Like what would
a
Asmar
survival
have?
guide.
Sure. Why not? You know
yeah.
what? You probably have a copy of the Gorm's like mercenary guide, or AKA the player's guide, which does actually exist in the setting. There is literally a book, like the Guide to the Roaring Shores. You might have a copy, and it's basically your job. And part of what you do is you go around, you experience things, and you write stuff down as we build the world. It's a
Oh, he
little
certainly has a
meta.
journal as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would make sense. He wouldn't offer him the journal, but he'd offer him the Gorm handbook, the Chronicles of the Roaring Shores,
Yep.
and see if he can read it.
You know what? He looks at it and he smiles and he opens it and he seems to understand the words, at least in,
Yeah,
in written words. Yeah.
Yeah, Asmar will pat him on the shoulder and walk away, let him read,
Yeah.
and just do his thing.
Yeah. He just seems happy and content with a little book, and he's reading about it and he does his thing. Yeah, I like that.
Come back. He can speak perfect common, and he's like a Gorm.
We find out he's
Like
he's actually
he's a zealot.
Yahoo.
So he's
Yeah,
actually a
zealot. That's the
polyglot-
word I was looking for. Just a
or-
Gorm zealot.
He's polyglot.
The Gorm is all.
Yeah, but I know like a lot of
I
people that
must
like
report.
like monks and stuff can read a lot more than they can speak sometimes. Medieval monks
Sure.
and stuff.
Yeah. Perfect. So
Especially
you guys
with how like Churchland got
will
bastardized.
continue
Or
on. So night does fall. You rest and camp here. In the morning, he's still reading, loving it. It doesn't look like he slept.
Asmar would have organized a watch.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he slept at all. Anybody that took watch, this guy never slept. He just kept reading, eating apples, just excited to be alive.
Assuming if we rotate the watch like normal.
Yeah. No,
standard
I just didn't want to get our throats slit in case Asky was right.
Yeah.
Alright. It's going to take you another day or so to get up to near to where the monastery is. You leave Havala. He looks a little sad as you're leaving and kind of like does that thing that like dogs do when they're like, oh, you're leaving, but I'm supposed to stay. Like he goes to get up and he's like, no, I'll stay. Like I get it. Excuse me. But he offers a small wave and wishes you guys well as you head off to the north. The forest remains quiet. And
sorry, Asmar would give him instructions to not light a fire for the next 2 days, then after that begin lighting fires.
Okay.
So that way if we need to find him, we can't find our way back, or if we need to find him quickly, we can.
I like that.
But we can't we don't want him to give away his position while we're not there looking for him.
Okay. Well, you continue on northward. The forest becomes denser and denser, almost as though there is older growth forest here. The tree trunks are a little bit bigger, a little bit closer together. There's little smaller trees, and it becomes harder and harder to make good time. So it's going to take you another 2 days, even though it should take maybe a day, but it's very slow going, difficult terrain, as it were. Eventually, as you were traveling forward, we're actually going to start doing survival checks to try and locate. You have a general idea of where this monastery is, but I need some survival checks to try and find tracks or any sort of indication of where this old monastery might be.
One last thing I just realized as I was resetting my spells. I regain a use of my seeing alignment potion. I'm gonna drink that in the morning and see if I can only pick. I pick an alignment, so I'm picking evil. Is I already forgot his name.
Havala.
Kavala evil.
He's not registering as evil.
Okay, good for me. Good for all of us.
Cool.
Does Asmar know he's lost with a 1? I assume he would know he's lost with a 1.
Oh yeah, you're like
I don't know where the
so
fuck
lost.
Yeah.
You pass a tree, the same tree 3 times that you made a mark on. You're like shit. In fact, in this area, it's starting to feel like the forest is acting against you. It's a strange feeling. Like it feels like more than just I'm lost. It feels like the forest is actively working against you, going where you want to go.
Can anyone else guide, or is I'm the only one on survival?
I rolled a 13 there.
I'm not trained in it. So.
It's not great for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's not great for me either. I'm the same bonus you are. You just have wisdom.
Yeah, mine's at 0.
I got my +4. I guess I'm the best then.
And it's untrained.
Yeah, then Asmar and Asky will try and coordinate it as they approach.
Brimble thistles only grow on the northern side of trees.
But the map says we do need to go north.
We don't have
But
a
the
map.
forest
This
is
is the
that
third
thick.
time I've told you this.
We don't have a map here. We had a map there. We referenced the map before we left.
Brimble thistle.
Thick forest. We have to go around.
But brimble thistle.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but somebody write it down. Brimble thistle. It's a thing that exists now.
It grows on the northern side of trees.
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably. It turns out in the actual player guide, it grows on the southern side of trees.
Yeah, I like that
completely
ASCII has the complete book learning of like, I know how this works. Like Asmar's like, we can't walk through that. We can't.
That's really funny. Remember that one time that dwarf just smashed a bear's head in?
I do remember
That was
that.
pretty rad.
That was
bonkers.
pretty rad. Oh man.
Either way, I didn't get good enough to assist, so I'm
So you guys end up lost for several hours.
all right. Let's try again. Reorient. Nope.
I got a 22.
It's pretty cool.
Probably
Hit
better
me
than I
for
got. I'll go for an assist.
Oh, wait. No, that's... I thought...
I also got a
You
22.
managed to find through the dense forest. It is indeed the bramble thistles. The bramble thistles? What did you
I
say?
already forget.
I can't remember either.
Brimble thistles, bramble thistles. Yeah, whatever. Either
Actually
way,
are pointing north, and you actually
Yes.
find a path that seems like it's been carved through this sort of dense thicket of trees and brambles and whatnot. But there is a path that does lead through it. It is very well hidden, but you do find it. And it does curve slightly, but it begins to head farther north.
as they get closer, Asmar is more like,
Can't get through the dense forest.
not
Bramble
all of us are
thistles.
5. Not all of us are 5'3". All right.
It's slow going. You have to crouch sometimes. You can't bring the horses. You're on foot at this point. You had to like tie the horses off. But as you make your way through, eventually it begins to open up. And imagine you're kind of like, it's starting to slowly incline because you're heading up towards the mountains.
You're getting in the foothills.
Inclines, a little hilly. And as you break through, it opens up. It's late evening. Later evening. The sun has started to dip. But there's that orangey, yellowish coloring. And as you break through this dense forest, it starts to thin very quickly. And planted sort of in a shallower area of this hilly region, you see an old stone fortress monastery with slightly damaged looking roof. But there's smoke rising from what it looks to be a chimney. So it's definitely occupied.
As they get to the edge of the clearing, I assume the forest thins a little bit towards the edge of the clearing. And it's not completely impassable, like right up to the edge of the clearing.
Mhm.
I think we should circumnavigate the edge in the tree line just to get a good look at it and not walk up to it the direction they're expecting people to come from.
Ooh.
And Asmar gives us tactful advice, and if they don't listen, whatever. But
Is there a wall around the monastery?
There is indeed.
Like if you were standing inside the wall and you
What
looked
I'll
out,
do,
you'd probably
I'll
only
go
see.
ahead and just show you the monastery.
sure.
'Cause you are kind of looking down upon the monastery at this point.
Okay, that's like an enclosed courtyard, but it's not like a curtain
Correct.
wall.
Correct. Yeah. There you go.
And if you were standing in that courtyard, you'd only be able to see the tops of trees.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like he said. Yeah.
Okay.
And you would see a couple of figures in the courtyard. And I'll actually show them to you. See a few figures.
Thwip. No.
Couple that appear to be
Got 'em.
keeping watch.
Family
And
Guy
some
fall
of them are
over.
dressed like monks. There is one that looks to be very different from the others. One is not like the others. A blonde-haired individual. And again, this is 0.2 of a mile away, so you're seeing very, very little of this, right? It's all, but he definitely looks different. The rest are dressed in these kind of dark greenish robes, and he appears to be standing next to a well, having a conversation with a robed individual, maybe a woman. You obviously can't make anything out, but this is what you would see from distance. You're up, being able to look down slightly.
Yeah, they're like in a bowl kind of.
Exactly. Yeah.
As we're kind of observing this, Asmar would say, what if the fiends haven't gotten here yet? And what they've been preparing for is the fiends, and we're going to go attack a good monastery.
I don't know that anyone on the righteous path wears so many face coverings.
Looks over and
Looks over Vidrin.
It looks back to Asmar, who now has his mask up, slowly pulls it down.
Yeah, to this point, I mean, and still to this point, no one has seen anything of Vidrun other than his left eye. Like, that's the only part of him you can see. He's completely, maybe his fingertips, but he's completely covered up the rest of him. And so, yeah, he's Vidrun just,
I don't know if
Shrugs.
that seemed like a personal attack if there ever was one.
he just
and-
shrugged.
and-
Like, he just doesn't give a shit. So he just shrugs. It's like, whatever.
Yeah, Asmar shrugs and says, we don't know what the tenets of their order are. We don't know what their order is.
I suppose
They might have extreme views on modesty or something. I don't know.
Very pure.
How far to see alignment?
60 feet.
60
Yep.
feet.
I almost guarantee you it's 60 feet.
Yeah.
Either way, we're out of charges for the day, aren't we?
Well, no, it's been a day since then. So
Correct.
Oh yeah. We did spend a day traveling.
while they are within your vision,
Oh, that's way better than the sea alignment.
I'm just gonna double check that I didn't copy this in wrong.
But all the other detect spells are 60 feet cones.
Yeah, it's a personal, so I cast it on myself, and then it's just within my vision. So if I can see them, I can see their alignment.
Interesting.
That's
I pick-
awesome.
If
I
they
pick a
have
single-
a powerful enough aura for an alignment to be present.
Which I think is only level 3 plus. Not very high.
Creatures of that alignment glow with a ghostly radiance while they are within your vision.
Yeah, but
So you can
there's a
see
little
this radiance in your
chart.
creatures.
There's a little chart that shows you like they have to be a certain hit dice if they're not like a devil or a demon or a like an angel or something to have an aura at all. It's like a level 1 evil guy doesn't have an aura no matter what you do to him.
Okay. Well, I'll still do it. You know,
Yeah.
I have it prepared and I can see them. So maybe.
Yeah.
I'll drink and I'll pick evil. Are any of the people down there?
This female feminine figure is glowing slightly reddish.
Okay. I'll point
Does
that out to the
she-
party.
Does she look
evil,
special?
evil light.
Is she wearing
Yes.
the okay,
Like
is she
Poke
wearing
Evil?
the same uniform the other guys are, except for the one blonde dude?
Yes, but it is unique.
Fancy.
It's a little
Yeah.
fancier, yeah.
Okay. That doesn't bode well.
What's that use? It only lasts
So-
it's 2 rounds, so
So, Wolf, about changing my alignment before I hit level 3.
Okay.
No, I'm just joking.
Okay. Are you lawful evil? Yikes.
No, I'm not. I'm
what-
neutral. I think I'm chaotic good. I can't remember.
whips around to look at. Okay.
I don't. Knowing that one of their headmen are not of the best state, I think maybe sneaky approach might be better.
We can sneak in, or at least up to the wall, and try and maybe overhear some of the conversations, and that might help aid our decision on how to attack this.
Yeah, is there a path that Asmar can identify, like with either stealth or survival or whatever that might be sheltered on the way up?
Perception check.
We'll try and aid in that.
Oh, yeah.
Depending on what you roll, I
Oh.
might aid you.
Hey, ASCII, you would notice that there is indeed a section of wall that is slightly damaged that you might be able to squeeze into on the northern side of the
Mm.
monastery. Up over yonder.
See. I will point this
looking
out to
for
the
you
uh,
again.
to the group.
It's right.
And then thinking with the tactical sense that Asmar has, there's no real like walkable wall on the outside of this, is there? So if we approach on the building, unless someone pokes their head a window or something, which I doubt there's very many of, this glass is really fucking expensive.
Correct.
More likely to be
Probably
a
be all
hole
right.
than a window.
Yeah. Oh my god, I had a 3-hour-long debate like in my freshman year of college of whether the window is the hole or the glass. Oh,
It's the hole.
Uh,
it is the hole. I agree with you. I was on hole side.
I mean, there's no debate. It's the hole.
Ugh. Didn't like it. I didn't like that discussion.
Gotcha.
Okay.
But yeah.
if we see a good approach, I feel like we should approach up to the wall and maybe even like kind of sneak up to the side of the courtyard here on the
Yeah,
other
we
side
can,
of the
we can
wall,
hug over here somewhere. and
just
try
so we
and
can maybe
listen.
overhear what they're talking about in the center of the courtyard.
What are the roofs like? Is it
Caved
like
in.
I assume it's a sloped roof because gets cold here.
Correct. It's
A
sloped
pitched roof.
roofs, and some of them have holes, some shoddy patch jobs, but the roofs aren't completely caved in. They're just
Okay.
holes and old.
Hmm.
If we need to like do any like real infiltration, I do have vanish. I
Okay.
can cast it on somebody.
Yeah, I can probably climb the wall and get pretty fucking close on the other side of the pitched roof to listen just from right here. if we want to do that. So, because I assume the walls aren't more than, say, 15 feet high, even if it's 2 stories.
Mhm.
I don't know how many stories it is, but
It's
So we're
2
dead set
stories.
on infiltration.
I think infiltration's the way to go.
At least until we know more about what we're dealing with.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say. I mean,
The best of all I had to say about these people is they clothed and fed him.
Hmm.
I mean, so
And
that's.
offered training.
I mean, if they closed and fed him, I mean, that's still in.
The
Not a lot of
Asmodean
people do
church in Galarian clothes and feeds its people. Let's be
Well,
clear.
Well, yeah, but it's people versus randoms, or
Well,
whatever.
He's an adherent of the church. He's an acolyte. That's why they were training him. I have to imagine.
He's
not
a
just
plane
schmuck.
touched. You
Yeah.
know? He's one of the holiest things on this entire continent.
Anyways, I think I'm gonna try and climb the side of the building. As you said, it's kind of falling apart, so there's probably a lot of handholds. I would think.
Give me a climb check.
All right. Not bad, not awful.
It's gonna take you some time. Give me a stealth check.
Right. What's my stealth? +6 because I don't have a shield on right now.
That's pretty good. That is
Yep.
pretty.
So he's gonna lay on his back on the back side of the pitched roof and hook his heels onto whatever the gutter or slope or whatever, whatever's on the bottom of the pitched roof, and just drop a rope between his legs and just lay there holding it so they can climb up the other side if they want to listen as well.
I'm gonna stay down here.
That's totally fine. And I'm gonna just throw myself like right there, which I assume is where he climbed
Yeah.
up.
Give me
In
a
the little indent.
perception check
Do you want me?
overhear the
Do you want me to
conversation.
vanish you before you go?
It only lasts for a couple of rounds. I think I'm good. I think if we need to like make a dash across the courtyard, something that'll be the best use for it. Because I'm completely out of sight unless there's someone higher than me on this pitched roof.
15. You'll overhear the conversation. You'll miss a couple of words here and there.
Okay.
The man who looks to be younger, early 20s or late teens, but carries that kind of arrogance that it can only come with granted
Power?
authority or nobility. One or the other,
Yeah.
right? He is speaking with the woman.
I do not think you understand the severity of the situation you find yourself in, Tamara. The Olo Inquisition does not offer its services to you, its shrouding of your monastery, its keeping of your secrets, for you to go and lose what we entrusted with you. You will find him, you will bring him back, and he will be prepared for what is to come. Or this little dollhouse of yours. It shall have a visit from the sisters. Do I make myself perfectly and utterly clear, Tamara?
The woman is carrying a very calm and collected expression, neutral even, until the mention of the sisters. She physically takes a step back, just one, subtle, leaning away as though those words were a swing. Like the guy just took a swing at her and she leaned back. You have made yourself very clear, Stephen. My brothers and I will see what was entrusted with us returned, and he shall be prepared on schedule, as was discussed. There is no need to send word to... There is no need to involve the sisters. He was, and always has been, a curious sort, and his curiosity will lead him back to us. I'm sure you can have a little bit more patience, can you not?
My patience, Tamara, grows very, very thin. You have 3 days. 3 days. If I do not hear word from you at that time, well, Let us hope it does not come to it. We'll be in touch.
Um,
Yes, go ahead.
as this conversation is starting to wrap down, Asmar's going to poke his head over the top and just try and get a snapshot of what this guy looks like in his mind from closer up.
Just like that, young face, complexion. He's carrying a scroll. He has a white staff cane that he's carrying. And as he does so, he takes this book. His cane stands up on its own. He makes he kind of flicks his wrist, a quill appears. He makes her jot down some sort of information. He closes it, and as he does, he starts to turn slightly misty. And it just sort of disappears, almost as though he wasn't really there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have spellcraft or anything? No, you don't. You're a fighter.
God, no.
Yeah, you have no idea.
No, he's going to give this a description.
Yeah, he just kind
I'll
of
be
vanishes.
right back. I'm sticking with Vidrum.
Yeah, Asmar will try and anchor is there a hole in the roof he can anchor, like an exposed raft or anything that he could anchor the rope to so he can climb back up easier?
Yep.
Perfect. He's going to do that. He'll drop back down and he'll come report to the party, give all that information and then say they're going to send out a search party soon. I think that'll be our best chance to sneak in once the search party's gone and out of line of hearing of the bells. So maybe give him an hour.
Remind me originally, because it's been some weeks. What was our original purpose for coming to the monastery?
I think there's going to be a ritual here.
We thought there was gonna be a ritual. Okay. Huh? Okay.
So we have a name, Tamara, who is the head of the monastery, Stephen, who is that noble. The sisters were a threat, and the Olo Inquisition appears to be this place's the order that holds this place.
Do we? I guess would it be religion? Any check we can make
Knowledge
on that?
religion, yeah.
Oh, I am trained in knowledge religion.
Can you roll for ask? I don't know if their sheet's up. If you can pull
Yeah,
it up or not.
26.
The Olo,
don't need to.
So the Thurval's theocracy is the centermost kingdom theocracy, as it were, religious organization that is centrally located in all of the Roaring Shores, and it's through most trade. Everything sort of goes through there. If you're going north to south, east to west, you have to travel through there at some point.
Yeah, it's like a nexus.
It also has some of the oldest buildings. Think of it like Rome, but it has a lot more power than Rome.
Okay.
Most religion and religious organizations have a main
Major
cathedral
temple.
or holy site there.
It's
like,
200 AD Rome.
It's 200 AD Rome. That's exactly
yeah.
right. Yeah, exactly right.
Athens
so
at its peak.
the
kind of
Olo
thing.
Inquisition is their secret police.
Gestapo.
And most of their orders are like their militant arm is chosen from among triplets, and the triplets are always girls, and most of the time those girls all kind of look the same, so it's kind of weird. It's a little bit of a weird culty like organization that's a little mysterious, but a visit from the sisters, never a good thing. Never a good thing. It's, oh, you fucked up, you're probably going to get...
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah, no one expects the Olo Inquisition sort of style. That is correct. Yeah. If you describe what you saw...
Yes.
Give me a spellcraft check, anybody that's got it, on if you describe
Yeah, he's also going to do his best to describe the nobleman in case he gets
12.
hurt or dies or something. They can
It's 12.
describe
it
him as well.
Sounds like illusion magic. You're not sure what it was. Maybe
Sounds like
a
illusion,
like
right.
a great illusion, project image, something like that.
Alter. Well, I say not alter self.
Astral projection.
Astral projection. Yeah.
I return.
Throw a spell. Thank you. Throw a spellcraft check, Jasper.
Sure.
If you got it.
There you go.
Hey.
Astral projection.
There we go.
100%.
Astral projection. 100%.
This guy wasn't actually there. He was projecting himself.
And that's
from
some
somewhere
serious spell oomph there too.
else. Correct.
Yeah, that's a lot of
Yeah,
power.
that's
That's what with astral projection's what, a 5th or 6th level spell?
It's pretty high.
Yeah.
High enough to fucking make a joke out of us if he was here.
Yeah, no, I mean, we fully believe he's here. Okay, so
Actually, astral projection is a level 9 spell.
Jesus Christ.
High
Okay.
enough to make a joke out of anybody if he was here.
Then I'm thinking of something else then, but yeah, 9th level.
So
Right, okay.
Just
now,
wish the guy
with
back at that point.
With that being said, there are items that allow you to do this sort of thing that exist in the world. There are he could have a artifact that is a pool of water that allows him to do this. It doesn't necessarily mean that he himself was doing
He's in
it.
17th level or whatever. Yeah, it doesn't.
Correct, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
You know,
There's ways around.
correct.
Either way, with all of that known, Asmar says, I think we just wait here. I think she's going to send that search party out rapidly. And I think once they're gone, we sneak in. Once we hear hoofbeats or the gates open, you know, whatever, I can poke over the top and watch them leave. And then we go on in and try and make our way through it quietly.
Do we want to let them leave? Like, what?
We're not
They're
gonna
gonna
find him. He's 30 miles away.
even if they, well,
And if they
What
do,
do
they'll
we
bring him
wanna-
back to us.
what do we want to do here? What is-
Presumably have as little resistance as possible. We find the ritual.
Okay. So we want to search. We want to search the monastery for some ritual site, and then just disrupt it, pillage it, and then leave.
I think that should be our best bet. Yes.
Okay.
If we can enrich ourselves off of an evil order while we're here, I don't think we should pass up the opportunity. He chuckles a little bit.
Are we okay with letting the Brotherhood get away?
We could stop them.
I suppose if we wanted to, we could ambush the search party on the way out. We could reposition now, go back to the entrance, wait at the entrance to the thicket, and cut them down when they leave.
Yeah, we don't know what they're sending out though.
No, it could be 20 men. We don't know how many people are here.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is I mean, we could try and set up an ambush, see if it's a couple guys. So, yeah, we could spring it. If it's
Yeah.
like, oh, we're sending out like 20 dudes on
yeah.
horseback and whatever. It's like, no.
I think that would be a good opportunity. That way we don't have to. We're not worried about them returning either at nightfall if they only go out for a day.
Yeah, I think it might.
Let's fall back.
Plus,
I think.
if we ultimately had to, if we're like, oh shit, they're going like beeline for
Yeah. They know
Havala,
where he is.
or just saying if they're headed in his direct direction, we could try and outrun them and beat them there and get him out of the
Yes.
way. And then what? I mean, it's
All right. Let's go ambush the search party. I think.
So you guys head off back to where you had entered in. You wait. About 2 hours later, you see a group of about a dozen or so, not on horseback, on foot, robed men, monks, cleric kind of style guys head out. It's late at night, so they're carrying torches, and they begin to make their way towards you, towards this entrance into this sort of hidden area.
Let's fall back into the thicket.
Yeah.
I think we can take 12 if they're unarmored, robed men with one of their hands occupied by torches.
Yeah. And as you head back into the thicket, and the torches get closer and closer, I think that's a good place to end today's session, and we'll pick back up with you likely running into them. But that was a lot of fun. That was a good session. A lot happened.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Do we all feel good about fighting? Do we want to ditch?
I think we'll be
Because
okay.
what I'm thinking is that these guys all have one of their hands occupied. They don't have shields. They don't have armor. Presumably, they don't have armor under their robes. And they don't have horses, so they're clearly not that rich.
I don't want a potentially evil cult to just exist in the woods near my house.
Yeah,
And
but
so-
it's also too is we don't know. We're not exactly. Well, let's say we're not exactly
And
powerhouse yet.
how deep was the thicket? Like the path through the thicket?
About a
Like, how long
quarter
did it take us?
mile.
Okay, so I think we want to ambush them past the end of the thicket, so that way if they run, we have a chance to run them down before they make
Like
it.
as they come
back.
out into the greater forest, probably.
Yes,
Makes
and
sense.
I would like to be behind them if I can find a place in this that's not.
Let's
Yeah.
talk about how you want to set up the ambush,
Yep.
and I'll give you guys a chance to set up a pretty solid ambush, and then we'll
Yeah,
take
perfect.
it from there. But I just want to say thank you guys for playing. It was absolutely delightful to get back at this session 3. Yahoo! I
Yeah.
want this to be a little bit more of a slow burn. and it feels like it is. Like I want there to, I
Mhm.
want it to be slower paced, but it still feels like a lot happened. I like how much time you took interacting with Havala. I like the
Yeah.
discussion. I like you getting up. I like being able to do a little bit of like, hey, here's what's happening in the world, and like I was glad that you snuck up to listen in the conversation. That's kind of why I set it up, so you'd have a chance to do that. So I was able to drop some like names and a little bit of lore, and we could have that conversation. So
I got notes and everything, Wolf.
good job, guys. That was really fun. Any final thoughts, questions, comments, or concerns before we wrap up?
Let's
today's
make it a
session?
streak.
We're going.
Yeah.
We're gonna play next Monday.
Yeah.
We
2
are.
sessions in a row.
We are.
2
Come on,
Yeah. We're gonna do it.
please.
We're gonna do it. No, 100%.
All
Just want
right.
to say
I
thank you
need
guys.
this.
An absolute delight. I appreciate you. Thank you to the players for playing. Thank you to the viewers for viewing, if you're viewing. And happy gaming, everybody. Remember, the dice have a story to tell, and today it was fuck that bear. That was awesome.
Fuck that bear
So cool.
indeed.
Fuck
That's so
that
cool.
bear.
All right,
Have
I'm
a
gonna
good
go
night,
ahead
everybody.
and just mute us here real quick, end the recording.